All right, hit the got it so you guys know it's recording. So this is Melissa, the insurance exam queen. We are doing a game night, and we're going to start with contract law. Now, this is actually in pretty much every exam: life, health, property, casualty, and it's one of the more tested topics. So we're going to go over this one, and as we answer, I will explain the concepts as we go. There's no competition here. There's no prizes. Actually, I should make a prize. Maybe I'll give you something free or something, or money off or whatever. That would be a good idea. So we could do that. And then we're going to have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions at the end, I will address them then after we play a couple of games. We'll play this game, maybe a life game, maybe a health game, and then just have some fun. All right, so I'm going to hit start. You will catch on very quickly. If you missed the first question, it's okay, but you'll see the question on the screen. All it will do is ask you the question. Then the screen will change and it will have the question on top and the answers on the bottom. And the answers will be on a color like yellow, red, green, and blue. Your phone will have the 4 color squares, yet red, yellow, green, and blue. You pick on the color, so you have to read your screen. Like the question and the answer will be on the screen, but selecting your answer will be on your phone and it will only be the color. So you say, oh, my answer is term life and that's yellow. I'm going to click yellow on my phone, but you'll catch on really quick. So let's get started. Woo! Contract law. Well, let me turn up some music a little bit. Oh, it's not going to let me. Information that would have altered the underwriter's decision if it was known. So you're picking the answer on your phone. Awesome. Okay, so not that it matters, but the points will come based on going fast and being accurate. And there is a timer, right? So you have only a certain amount of time to pick your answer. And if you don't pick your answer in that time, it just is 0. But I'm not worried about the score or anything. So, all right, let's look at this question. So information that would have altered the underwriter's decision if it was known. So we're talking about an application here, a customer filling out an insurance application. When you are filling out your application, you are either making representations or warranties, and we'll learn about those coming up. But representations are, I think it's true, I believe it's true, the best of my knowledge is true, and warranties are absolutely true statements. Misrepresentations are where it's not true. Now, it's not necessarily a lie. There is a difference between I forgot and I misspoke and I didn't understand the question and you outright lied. Only if they put the word intentional is it like an outright lie. You can't assume that a misrepresentation from the customer is a lie. It could be I forgot, I didn't understand the question. So you have representations, warranties, and then misrepresentations, which are untrue statements. And again, it's not necessarily a lie, but it's an untrue statement. So what makes a misrepresentation material? I like to think about this as like dating. If you guys ever watched 90 Day Fiance, there was a couple on there, Ed and Rose. And this is a show, it's on, TLC, where somebody in America meets a person in another country online, and then they like meet each other and want to get married, and we get to watch it all unfolding on the camera, right? So Ed and Rose, Ed, when he was beginning to talk to Rose, he told her that he was taller than what he was. So he lied to her about his height. Now, when they met, that really didn't bother her. Like, she was like, okay, he lied to me, but I'm still going to date him. That didn't change her mind. That was not a deal breaker. No decisions. She didn't change her decision. That's just a misrepresentation. If it doesn't impact your decision making, it simply means you got the wrong information, maybe lied, maybe not, but you got the wrong information, but it doesn't change anything for you. That's a misrepresentation. A material misrepresentation is when it changes things, that your decision is different. So when they were dating a few weeks in or a few months in, I don't remember the timeline, but Ed took Rose and he sat her down like at the side of a pool at a resort or something. And he's like, hey, I have something to tell you. I know that you want more children and that you expect me to give you more children, but I don't want any children. And I hope you're okay with that. And I hope you love me anyway. And I hope it doesn't change anything. And she's like, bro, peace out. Like, if I had known that you didn't want children, I never would have dated you. Like, she's like, I never would have gotten with you if you would have told me that you didn't want children. That was a deal breaker to her. She altered her decision. A different decision would have been made had she known that piece of information. And that's what a material misrepresentation is. Material. And we want to remember it by thinking you alter the material. You're taking a dress and you're changing it to a skirt. You're altering the material. You're making a different decision. You had a dress, now you have a skirt. You altered the material. That is a material misrepresentation. So material misrepresentation is a piece of information that if the underwriter had known it, they would have made a different decision. What that means for insurance would be like, if we would have known that, we would have charged you a different premium. If we would have known that, we would have given you a different policy. If we would have known that, we wouldn't have even offered you insurance. So that's what is an example for the insurance company. Does anybody have any questions before we go to the next question? And you can unmute yourself and just ask. That would be the fastest way. Okay, all right, I'm gonna move forward. And if you do have any questions, just unmute and ask. Otherwise, I'll just keep going. Oh, we're not keeping score, okay. A customer provides premium in an application. This is known as, maybe I have too many people logged in. I don't know. Learning as we go, right? Okay, all right. So let's talk about this one. A customer provides premium and an application. This is known as consideration. Now, I understand why 3 of you chose agreement, because agreement is the customer submits an application, and consideration is the customer submits an application and pays money. So I totally understand why this could be confusing. So let's talk about this. First, we have the 4 elements of a legal contract. So every legal contract has 4 elements: agreement, consideration, competent parties, legal purpose. So every contract has to have those, every legal contract has those 4 things. Agreement is 2 people agreeing that they want this. And on the side of the customer, they are providing an, agreement is known as offer and acceptance. So agreement is offer and acceptance. Somebody has to make an offer and the other person has to accept it, and then you're in agreement. So agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known, you have an offer and acceptance in that, and then you're in agreement. The offer is when the customer submits an application. So if insurance is the transfer of risk, you are transferring the risks you have to the insurance company. You are offering your risks to them. That's what an application is you offering your risks to the insurance company. The risk of crashing your car, the risk of your house burning down, the risk of dying too soon, the risk of a medical bill. You are transferring that to an insurance company. So in order to begin that transfer, you have to fill out that application. So that is your offer. The insurance companies, we think, oh, they're offering us a policy. We are offering them our risks. And if they accept them, then that would be the other side of agreement, which is accepting the risk. And that would be issuing a policy. If they accept the risk, if they are in an agreement with that, the offer and acceptance, the offer is submitting the application, the agreement is issuing the policy, then you have that first of the four. So you have agreement, consideration, competent parties, legal purpose. When you have that agreement, the offer and acceptance, that's one. Then you need consideration. Now, the easiest way to think about this is when you are getting married, okay? When you get engaged, you get an engagement ring. This is the offer. I agree to marry you. I want to be married to you. That is the offer and the acceptance. Okay, so the offer is, will you marry me? The acceptance, you're putting the ring on. When you officially get married, you get another thing. And now that we're married, your money is my money. And that's what makes the consideration. So where agreement is just the offer, the offer is the application, right? So agreement is known as offer and acceptance, and the offer is the application. So the first level of agreement is that offer. That's just the application. That's just the engagement ring. Then when you officially get married, you still have the engagement ring, and now you're adding money on top. Your money is now my money. Okay. So that's how to remember the difference between offer, which is just application, and consideration on the side of the customer, which is app plus premium. Is that making sense so far? Do you have any questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Now, consideration, let's talk about consideration a little bit. Consideration says both sides bring value to the other side. So when you have agreement, offer and acceptance, offer my risks, you accept them by issuing the policy. Then both parties have to bring value to the other party. What value is the customer bringing to the company? And what value is the company bringing to the customer? They both need to bring value to each other. So consideration is bring value. Then they're going to ask you, what is the value on the side of the customer and what is the value on the side of the insurer? However, they don't use the word value. They only use the word value in the definition. Both parties must bring value to the other party. When they ask you what is the value on the side of the customer, they're actually going to word it as what is consideration on the side of the customer. So what is consideration on the side of the customer? That's how they're going to word it. And they're basically asking, what is the value? So consideration is the value that each side brings. So the value on the side of the customer, consideration on the side of the customer is app plus premium, the engagement ring and the wedding band, two of them, where agreement offer is just the wedding band or the engagement ring, the offer itself, the application. Okay, any questions? Okay. Next question. All of the following are legal purpose except. This is an except question, and this one's actually kind of tricky. Okay, now this one is tricky. And the reason I put this in here is because I've seen it before and on my exam, and it made me mad. And I'm like, oh, this is so silly. Okay, we definitely associate being 18 as legal. But when it comes to a contract, legal is not about age. Age is in competent party. Is the person old enough, knows what they're doing, and of sound mind? That's competent party. So being 18, being legal is competent party. Legal purpose is all about not breaking the law, not going against public policy. This one, legal purpose, is Joe Exotic. Why is Joe Exotic in jail? Because he had a contract to murder someone else. That murder is against the law. You are not allowed to murder people unless you're the government, but I didn't say that. Okay, so anyway, murder, legal purpose, is not breaking the law, not going against public policy. Being 18 is competent party, right? That's competent party. So legal purpose is cannot break the law, not against public policy, lawful reason. It has to be a lawful reason that they do it. And that's what legal purpose is. So any contract you have, whether it's an insurance contract, whether it's a rental agreement, whether it's a job agreement, in order for it to be legal, it has to be not breaking the law, not against public policy, and established for a lawful reason. Being 18 is competent party. Questions? Okay. The customer submits an application. This is known as just an application, just the engagement ring. Yes, offer, right? So agreement is known as offer and acceptance, and offer is customer submits an app. So to the person who chose agreement, I understand because this is a piece of agreement. But when they ask specifically about submitting the app, that is offer. So agreement is known as offer and acceptance, and the offer is submitting the app. Acceptance is the insurer issuing the policy. So they get specific. Yes, offer is part of agreement, but what is the definition of offer? Customer submitting an app. All right, next question. Untrue statements on the policy are. Misrepresentations, yes. So untrue statements are misrepresentations. Doesn't mean they lied. Could just be I forgot, I misspoke, I didn't understand the question, but that would be an untrue statement, would be a misrepresentation. Great job. A statement an applicant makes on a policy. Representation, yes, representation. A statement, representation, statement, representation, statement, representation, yes. So a representation is, I believe it's true, I think it's true, to the best of my knowledge it's true, but it might not be true. So for instance, if on a health or life application, they said, do you have cancer? No? Is it possible? Yes. I might have cancer somewhere in my body without knowing. I did when I was 16. Actually, I had my thyroid removed. But anyway, you don't always know if you have an illness in your body unless it's already presenting itself, right? So when they ask that question, do you have cancer? And you put no, and then it ends up being wrong. You didn't lie. You didn't try to deceive. You didn't know. So a misrepresentation is true to the best of your knowledge at the time. So as long as you are being truthful to the best of what you know, that is a representation. And they always associate the word statement with representation. Where a warranty is an absolutely true statement, but they don't, unless the word absolutely true or must be true is in there, statement itself doesn't imply warranty. Statement simply implies representation. So whether they ask true or not doesn't matter. If they just say statement, it's representation. If they say absolutely true, warranty. If they say must or true to the best of your knowledge, statement. Might not be true, or representation. Yeah. All right. Again, if you have any questions, just unmute, ask a question. Oh, it finally started keeping score. Okay. If a material misrepresentation is intentional, it is considered what?
Concealment.
Oh, sorry. I got so excited. My royal treatment client. This is blowing my mind. Okay. So I have a customer who signed up to work with me one-on-one where I tell him what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And then he talks to me as he's studying. He could talk to me all day long and then we might meet on Zoom meetings. He just started training for life and health. And I said, all you need to do right now is watch all of my stuff. I don't want you to read anything. I don't want you to quiz on anything. I just want you to read the stuff and or watch the stuff. He watched all my videos and then he got a 63 without reading, without doing any quiz questions. He is only 7% away. To be fair, he did already know Michigan law because he just passed the property and casualty exam. We did that one in like a week. So now we moved to life and health. He's doing all 4 at once. That is amazing. He literally almost passed just off my videos alone and not reading the material at all. Just blew my mind. I was so excited. Okay. All right. Fraud. Intentional misrepresentation is fraud. If you intentionally are telling them the wrong information, that is fraud. Now, concealment. Concealment is a form of fraud. So concealment is a form of fraud, but concealment is very specific to withholding or hiding. So this would be like the kind of lie, like when you go eat a candy bar in the closet and your kid can hear you, you're trying to conceal it. You're trying to like prevent your child from hearing you eat the candy bar because then they're going to ask for candy bar. You're hiding it. That's what concealment is. You're trying to conceal the fact that you're eating a snack, that you're making the noises. You don't want them to see that you're doing it. That's concealment. You need to see withholding or hiding for it to be concealment. Fraud is just lying, bad information, trying to lie, trying to deceive. Concealment is withholding or hiding. So it's a specific type of fraud. All right, there's our score sheet. We got 3 players with an answer streak of 4. That is awesome. Woo! When both parties bring something of value. Ooh, we know this one.
Consideration.
Ooh, consideration. Both parties bring something of value, consideration. So consideration says you consider what I want, I consider what you want, and then we bring it to each other. What value do you want from me? What value do I give you? So consideration is give value, bring value. Consideration is both parties bring value. Consideration, both parties bring value. Offer and acceptance is the definition of agreement. Offer and acceptance is the definition of agreement. When we're done with this, I'm going to show you a chart and I want you to take a picture of it. And it's going to help break out the difference between agreement, offer and acceptance, and consideration, because they are tricky. They sound like each other. So I'll show you a chart that will help you study and separate the two. The insurer issues the policy. This is known as, what do we call it when they issue the policy? We have offered the risks and they have what?
acceptance.
Yes, this is this acceptance. Yes. So our offer, so agreement is known as offer and acceptance. The offer is the customer submits the app, and the acceptance would be the insurer taking those risks and issuing the policy. So if insurance is the transfer of risk, when you make your offer, you are offering your risks and they take them. You transfer them to them. They accept your risks by issuing the policy. So acceptance is the insurer issues the policy. Which of the following is a competent party? So this one's a little bit tricky, and I've seen this on the exam a few times where they will say like a competent party is someone who's old enough, knows what they're doing, and not under the influence of drugs and alcohol. And then they ask you a question and all four people are on drugs of some sort. But there is a difference between a mind impairing drug and a daily drug that you get from your doctor that doesn't impact anything, right? So pay attention to what kind of drug. If it's a pain med after a surgery, especially, you are not competent. If it's a medicine that says you cannot operate heavy machinery, that makes you incompetent. You should not sell someone insurance if they are on medication that impairs their thinking, impairs their ability to understand what's happening. Being on a medicine for your blood pressure, that's totally fine. So you'd be a competent party. But if you're drinking at happy hour, you are not competent. If you are 16, you are too young, you are not competent. If you are on pain meds after surgery, you are not competent. So the only competent one here would be a lawyer on her daily medication with her blood sugar levels. Now, to the 16-year-old college student, there are some states where you can buy insurance as low as 15, and it may be in your text. So pay attention to that, but it's pretty rare. It's only like a handful of states. So if you've seen it in your text, cool, commit it to memory. If it's not in your text, don't worry about it. An absolutely true statement on the application. Warranty is absolutely true. Absolutely true warranty. Think about what a warranty means. If you have a warranty on your phone, if it breaks, they will fix it. They are guaranteeing that this item will work and is good and is solid. So a warranty as a statement is saying this is true. It's good. This is factual. So that's a warranty is an absolutely true statement. And warranties are things like where we talked about representations before as do you have cancer? Well, you might not have the right answer. You might be wrong. A warranty is something that you shouldn't be wrong on. Like, what is the address to your house? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's like Main Street. No, you know your address. That is a warranty. It is a fact. It is exactly what you say it is, unless you're lying, and then that would be fraud. And then, or like, what is the VIN to your car? There's no wiggle room for your car not to be exactly what it is. Like I have a 2009 Toyota Prius. That is my car. There's no wiggle room for that to be wrong. It must be true and it has to be true. And if it's not, they can void the policy. All right, next question. And I'm going to go run and get my water because I forgot to grab it. Yes, agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Yes, perfect. And then you need to know that offer is submitting the app and acceptance is issuing the policy. Consideration on the side of the insurer is. Ooh. All right. So remember, consideration is both parties must bring value. What is the value of the customer? What is the value of the insurer? If the value of the customer is app plus premium, the main thing about consideration is money. Remember, we said you get married, getting the agreement of getting married is just the engagement. But it's until we seal the deal and your money is my money, you're not officially married. There has to be money to make it official. And consideration is money. The main point of consideration is money. Okay. You consider my feelings. I want to be wealthy. Okay. Consider that. I want money. Okay. So if and value, money, value, money, right? The money is the main point of consideration. So if the customer is bringing app plus premium, and remember, your app is your risks. Your risks are valuable because you're willing to pay money for someone else to take them. I have the risk of crashing my car. I want the insurance company to pay for that risk if it happens. You are paying someone money to take that risk from you. The risk of a major medical bill, you are paying money for someone to take that from you. Okay, that's consideration. That's paying your premium is literally paying the insurance to take your risks. Let them deal with the risks. So on the side of the insurer, because both parties are bringing value to the other party, if the value from the customer is application and premium, all of my risks and the money I'm willing to pay you to take them, app plus premium, if that's on the side of the customer, what is the insurance company bringing to you? They are bringing the promise to pay, the promise to pay. They are promising that if one of the risks happens, they will pay the bill. That is what you are transferring to them. You're not transferring the risk of crashing your car, but the risk of the bill, the risk of the money that you would have to pay to fix your car. That's what you're giving to them. So the value that they are giving you as a customer is promise to pay. So they will pay your claims if you have them. So the value that we get from the insurer, the consideration on the side of the insurer is promise to pay. They are promising to pay if one of our claims happens. So in summary, remember, consideration says both parties bring value to the other party. Consideration on the side of the customer is promise, is app plus premium. Consideration on the side of the insurer is promise to pay. All of the following are elements of a contract except. Counteroffer, yes. Okay, that is not an element. Remember, we said our elements are agreement, consideration, competent parties, legal purpose. Counteroffer is not one of those elements. And that's why it's the correct answer, because it's the false answer. When you have an accept question, we're looking for the false answer. And it is false that counteroffer is an element. It is true that consideration is an element. It is true that agreement is an element. It is true that legal purpose is an element, but it is false that a counteroffer. Accept questions are the false answer. Except questions are the false answer to whatever the statement before it is. Intentionally withholding, you're withholding that candy. What are you doing? Concealing, right? You're withholding or hiding, you're concealing. So withholding or hiding is concealing. That's correct. All right, how do we do? Third place, Britt Brat. Woo! Second place, Bell Lab, Blob. I don't know how to say that, sorry. First place, Just Learning. Woo! All right. Okay, so let's see how we did overall. We got a 63% correct. If we were to play it again, we're gonna do that right now. Watch. We're gonna watch how powerful this is. We're gonna play that one more time, and it's gonna go much faster because I'm not gonna talk at all. And let's see what our score is. Let's watch yourself grow your score. I'm so excited for this. Watch this. It's gonna be so fun. All right, add yourself back. You gotta redo it fresh. So go to kahoot.it. Put in the game pin. Now that we learned all that material, we're gonna prove it. Okay, anybody else waiting? Oh, there we go. We got another one. Anyone else? Speak now. Forever hold your peace. I'm going to hit start. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm not even going to read the question, so just go. Just go to town. Woo! Yes, look at that. Woo woo. Yes. Woo! Ah, yes. Offer and acceptance. Woo! All right, let's see how we did. Third place, Miriam, congrats. Second place, Bella, woo! First place. Just learn it again. Nice, just learn. Okay, let's see. 85. 36 to 85. Round of applause. You're more than passing the exam, even in Nevada, which is 80%. Woo! Yes. Okay, awesome. All right. So that was just the contract law, which again is on pretty much every exam. Life, health, property, casualty. They all love contract law. So let's do a little, do we have more life people, health people, or are you doing both?
I'm health. I already have my life license.
Okay, health only?
I'm health.
Life,
Health and life? Okay,
life only.
life only, okay,
And both for me.
both, okay. Where's my games? It feels like not all of my games. Hang on. Okay, let me think of the best game here for you. Health provisions, accident, health, group. Okay, group is on, well, group, yes, okay. Most of these questions are gonna work for both life and health. I will stress if one of them doesn't work for one or the other, okay? And then now I think I like this. I think I want to do this more consistently. So this is teaching me like what games to make. And maybe we even separate life and health and whatever. So this is good. This is learning. I like this. All right, let's go ahead and get logged in. All right, anyone else still wanting to log in? Speak now for hold your peace. 3, 2, 1. So it's a group for both life and health. "31 days to sign up." This is a health question. Okay, so this is technically specific to health, but however, actually in life, so in group insurance says that you are getting insurance through your job, through your employer. So that's group insurance. And you can have group life and you can have group health. And most of the testable points are exactly the same, okay? So group is getting insurance through your job, through your employer. If you were to leave your job, leave that employer, you are leaving the insurance as well. However, whether you have life or health, you have the option of either keeping that insurance. In life insurance, you have the option of keeping it. And in health insurance, you can either keep it for a little bit or convert it and keep it forever. But no matter what, whether it is life or health, you do have 31 days to sign up. So if you leave your job and you still want to somehow keep your insurance, whether you do COBRA or conversion or keeping the life insurance, which I think they call conversion anyway too, you still have 31 days to sign up. So that's a testable point for everybody, life or health. So group insurance is insurance through your employer. You quit that job, but you still want some of the insurance. You have 31 days to sign up for that in some form or fashion. Why are benefits coordinated? This is a health specific question. Okay, so again, this is a health specific. In life, they won't talk about this one, but when you have benefits being coordinated, this is true when you have a job and you have insurance through your job, your spouse has a job and they have insurance through their job, and you're covered on both plans. they are going to coordinate the benefits. And the reason they do that is to prevent overinsurance. Being on 2 health plans means you are in some way overinsured, but they're not going to allow you to like make money off of it. So like you may never have to pay a bill if you have 2 insurances, but you're not going to make money. And they coordinate the benefits to prevent you from making money. At best, your whole bill will be paid off. Like you won't have to come out of pocket. Like if you have 2 really good plans, you might never pay anything out of pocket, but you're not going to make money. You're not going to collect extra money. So the point is to prevent overinsurance, to coordinate, they work together to prevent overinsurance. This will not be asked about on the life test. Who gets a copy of the master policy? This is life and health. Perfect. Yes, the employer. So if group insurance is the employer or group sponsor buying insurance for all the little people, like if I'm an employer and I have 1,000 employees, I have one medical plan covering 1,000 people. Does all those thousands of people need to see the policy covering all the 1,000? No, they only need to know that they are insured. So the copy of the policy goes to the group leader, the sponsor, the employer. It's generally the employer. It doesn't have to be an employer because group insurance could also be bought by an association, which isn't employment, but the employer is the most common group insurance that we get. So the group leader, the sponsor, the employer, they're the ones who get a copy of the policy. And all the other little individuals, they just get a little certificate. So you want to think of your employer as your master, and they get the master policy. So they are because it's one policy covering a bunch of people. It's a master. And it's like, we're the master, we're covering everybody. They are the only ones who get the copy of the policy. And that's life or health. Who gets a certificate of coverage? Oh, I just gave you this answer. You should know it. Individual insureds. Yes. Who gets a certificate? Individuals. Correct. When there are 2 group plans on one person, what happens? Health question. Yes, we just talked, they coordinate the benefits. So if you have a plan, your spouse has a plan, you're covered on both, they're going to coordinate the benefits to prevent overinsurance. This is a health specific question only. All the following are reasons to sign up for COBRA except health specific. I got some misspellings in there, but that's okay. Okay, so this is health specific only. When you have medical insurance through your employer and you leave, you can either convert to an individual plan so you can keep it forever. So that would be conversion. So I have medical insurance through my employer and I quit. I can convert where I keep the insurance, or I can sign up for COBRA, which temporarily allows me to stay on the insurance. So COBRA is a temporary time that I can stay on the insurance. Now I can sign up for COBRA they downsized me because they had to downsize. I can sign up for COBRA. If my spouse was covered under my plan and then we get a divorce, he can stay on my plan via COBRA. So dependents can use COBRA. Death. If I'm covering my spouse and I die, I'm not working for the company anymore. I'm dead. But my husband could still sign up for COBRA through the company, and it would allow them to have temporary insurance. COBRA doesn't last forever. It's temporary, 18 to 36 months, 18 for the individual, 36 for dependents. But divorce and death are two reasons that the dependent can sign up, and downsize is a reason that you can sign up. Even if you quit, you could even be fired for being a bad employee. Like you never show up on time, you're always late, you're rude to the customers, and so they fire you. You can still sign up for COBRA. You cannot sign up for COBRA though if the reason that they fired you is for like something that you could go to jail for. So if you were stealing company property, or if you sexually harassed another coworker, you're not allowed to sign up for COBRA. But any other reason, you could pretty much sign up for COBRA. But if they fired you because you broke a law in some way, COBRA is not available to you. And that again was a life specific only question. Oh, I love that, still learning. That's awesome. Insurance from an employer. Group, yes, perfect, group. If you're getting it from your employer, it's group. COBRA for dependents last. Ooh, I just gave you this answer. Dependents is 36 months. Yeah, the individual gets 18. Dependents get 36 months. Because think about like, if you're the primary worker and you quit your job, you're probably going to get another job. But if you were a stay-at-home spouse and the primary worker divorced you or died, you might need longer. You need time to find someone else to marry, not just get another job. So they give you more time. So think about it like that. 36 months. Okay. So all together, let's see how we did. Third place, Bella. Woo! Second place, still learning. Woo woo! First place, Rip Rat. Woo! All right. And overall, 68. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Some of you are life only, so you wouldn't know that stuff anyway. Okay, we're not going to replay that one because I want to respect our time. Okay, do we have any questions? So right now is your chance to ask me anything you got.
I'm doing health. I think I posted it in the group for Maryland. I'm buying your audio.
Okay.
One of the things that's kind of like stumping me a little bit is that 30%, which ends up being 24 questions, is saying that it's regulations and laws. But when I'm looking through the outline, it kind of gives you how many items are going to come from each section. It looks like a lot of it is generalized. So like you have to know like how many years your commissioner, for Maryland, it's called a commissioner, is in office, 4 years. And you have to know about the twisting, the rebating and all of that. So am I right on thinking like a lot of that is generalized in that section? And I'll have some areas where I guess like for crimes and stuff like that, the fines and things like that will be state, or is that generalized as well?
Well, when you say generalized, there are definitely certain things that are like the same. There's one person who runs the department. He might be the commissioner, director, superintendent. Everybody has to do continuing education, twisting, rebating, misrepresentation. Yeah, there are definitely things that are the same in every state. But then that chapter though is very specific to your state law. So like, you know, one state says you need 24 hours of continuing education. Another says you need 36. Some let you carry them over, some don't. So it is important to like be in that chapter and to memorize as much as you can. And what I would recommend is, because it's 24% for you, like some state, Arizona, it's 5%, like who cares? But when it's a bigger percent, you've got to pay more attention to that chapter. So what you want to do is when you're reading it, skim the chat. Like when you're in a section, let's say it's like court hearings or something like that.
Right.
As you read it, you're going to see 20 days, 30 days, 30 days, 20, 10, 30, 30, 30. Find the number that you see the most, circle that one and memorize that one. Because you're way more likely to be correct than not, right? So you make it into a guess, but an educated guess. So if you see a bunch of numbers, like a fees and fines, right? You read fees and fines. You see the number 50 a ton. 50 represents more than, 50% of the fines. memorize 50 for fines. You don't have to memorize exactly what fine is 50. Just know that if you see a question on fines, you're going to choose 50.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
one
because
way.
in Maryland, the continuing education is 24. They waive it if you have, you don't have to do 6 hours if you have 25 years of experience, something like that.
Right.
But I remember a lot of it from life when it comes to that section. I'm hoping that a lot of it is the same.
Yes, it is. It is
On the
actually
health
the same.
exam.
Yes.
Oh,
That-
it is. Okay.
That chapter, whether you're for each state, right? Each state, the insurance regulation chapter, or the common to all lines chapter, whatever they end up calling it,
Okay.
that will be the same in life, same in health, same in property, same in casualty, because it's common to all lines.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's why my so I said how my royal treatment client, I'm helping him on all 4 exams. He didn't do anything other than for the property casualty, he did go through the whole course and
Right.
watch my videos. And he already passed his state exam. So he already knew state law, right? Like his score for state law was already high. And then he simply watched my videos for life and health and still scored a 63 first time.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's so good. But he already knew state law because he just did it. So insurance regulations or state law, they're either going to call it common to all lines or insurance regulation. That will be the same on the state exam for life, the state exam for health, the state exam for property, the state exam for casualty in that state.
So I'm assuming then if I know a good chunk of that, I'm pretty good in that area. I just need to refresh.
Yes.
Because I remember quite a bit of that. So
Perfect.
So then now we're going into health plans, HMO, PPO. So that's where now I watch all your videos, but I think now I'm gonna buy the boot camp, and I should be able to get the rest of that through the boot camp.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time talking about HMOs and PPOs in the boot camp. Yep.
Okay.
And just so you all know, I'm working on creating a course where it's definitely, instead of just a recorded class, it's like section by section, which makes it a little bit easier. I'm working on developing that, so it's coming.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay, so the boot camp will be able to bring it all together for me for the rest of the exam, since I already have that that 30% chunk.
Yes.
From the common line.
We have to look. I don't know. You're Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at Maryland here.
Yeah, I gave the link in the group, like the whole breakdown.
Yeah,
from
and
the
this
PDF.
one actually, I came from Exam FX because I knew them. Excel has a better one because I learned about this one. They actually break it down. They already do the math for you. So,
actually, I did Excel. I did I already completed it, actually.
Okay, perfect. Well, I just
have to do the exam part to get my code to go scheduled.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to take the exam until I did because it was a while ago when I read all the material.
Yeah. The main thing of showing you this, though, is like how many questions will come from each chapter.
Oh,
you know?
Yes.
So 9 will come from basics. 6 will come from provisions. 7 will come from disability. 11 will come from medical plans. So that's the HMO PPO. So you do need to know that pretty well.
I understand it pretty good, actually.
Perfect,
I think I have a good grip. I've been watching your videos, and another gentleman from Virginia, actually, he's animated, an older gentleman, and he's been breaking it down pretty good. I listened to him, listen to yours. I think I have a pretty good grip on the HMO because I'm gonna ask you real quick. So HMO, from what I understand, is they handle the financial and the care. They're salaried. Yes. The doctors are salaried. You have to go within the network. Your doctor
I didn't realize I was not sharing my screen. I'm sorry. I was showing you.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes, you're exactly right. Yes, the finance and the care, because
they're the gatekeeper. The doctor do all the referrals.
Yes, exactly. Because like an HMO is actually a group of doctors and hospitals who join together to provide you prepaid medical. When you're paying your premium, you're paying those doctors and hospitals directly. A PPO is an insurance company that you're paying money to negotiate a rate with the doctor.
That's a fee for service, is PPO?
Yeah, and PPO is a fee for service.
Okay.
And so the PPO provides the financing. You have to go to the doctor to get the care. In an HMO, you are financing and getting the care from the same place.
Yep. Yep, we have one here in Maryland called Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente,
Yeah.
I think it's called. Yes, Kaiser. And so my girlfriend's a part of Kaiser. So I remember when I was listening, I was like, oh, Kaiser's a HMO. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I didn't realize I wasn't sharing my screen, guys. So this is a
I
website here.
see
It's
there.
called preparetopass.com, and it lists
Oh,
the
yes.
state breakdown for all the states, and it does the math for you. So like
Is that Excel's website?
this is Excel's, yeah. So Excel,
Yeah,
but
because they
it's not
say that in their videos, prepared to pass.
yeah, you don't go to Excel, you go to preparetopass.com. I'll put it in the chat box here for everybody.
Okay.
And then this is what allows you to look up how many questions you're getting from each chapter. So what other state do we have in here? We looked at Maryland. Who else is in here? Anybody?
Florida.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Florida.
Florida. All right, let's look at Florida. And are you
And I'm
doing
doing
life and
in-
health or just life?
I'm just health because I'm
Okay.
already in the health insurance field.
Okay, perfect. All right, so then your box would be right here. So this is, you have 16% is going to come from types of policies. So that's understanding HMOs, PPOs, disability, long-term care, AD&D, limited policies, things like that. 23 is going to be provisions. That's entire contract, time limit on certain defenses, grace period, reinstatement, physical exam and autopsy, all of those. Only 4% is Medicare. Social insurance is Medicare. You do not need to study that chapter very intensely. All you need to remember, what is Part A, medical? What is Part A, hospital? What is Part B, medical? What is Part C, Medicare Advantage? What is Part D, drugs and donuts? There's a whole thing about donut holes, like that's an actual thing in Medicare. You just need to remember to pick donut hole.
I work the Medicare line of business currently with an insurance company, so I have that down pat.
Okay, awesome. So but you don't need, for anyone else watching, you don't need to, if you only have 4 questions or 3 to 5 questions on social insurance, don't worry about understanding Medicare. You just remember the names of the parts. And then other is, what is other? Oh, other will just be like random concepts, like what does a total disability mean, things like that. And you only got 5 of those. Then you have 11 questions on field underwriting. This is the completing the app. This is the misrepresentation, the preferred, substandard, all those things. What does the process look like for you sitting down and filling out the application with them? Who are they looking at for underwriting? They're looking at the MIB. They're looking at your medical exams. They're looking at your credit reports, collecting the receipt, stuff like that. That's all the field underwriting procedures. Then you're going to have 23 questions for common to all lines. So that's the Florida law. Who is the commissioner? How many years does he do examinations? How many hours of continuing education? Things like that. Then you have 18 questions that are pertinent to health only. Now, what's really cool is that these 18, this chapter right here will pull from this chapter. Like they talk about a lot of the same stuff. So that's cool because a policy provision is saying, this is how we do it. And Florida is saying, this is how we do it. We do it like this. So it's just more confirmation of a lot of those concepts. So those will double dip a lot. So that's Florida. So super strong in provisions, super strong in state law. And then mediocre in this one, and this one. Okay, any questions?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want me to do their state? Or any other
Texas.
questions that we have?
Can you do Texas?
Texas, life and health?
Yes.
Texas. Okay, so you're this section right here, life and health. So 12 questions on types of this is life insurance. So they break it up between life and health, right? You're going to have 12 questions just about types of life. Focus on term versus whole. You're going to have 18 questions on provisions. And this chapter can be a lot for life. where provisions is kind of small for health. With life, they add in options and exclusions and riders. So it's a little bit of a bigger chapter. And then the confusing parts could be non-forfeiture, but you do need to know non-forfeiture. And I do teach that in my, the life class that I think is for sale for like 11 bucks. So you need to know that one pretty well. And that one will again also help you double dip to the this chapter pertinent to life only. So the 10 questions here will be double dipping of these questions here too. Then you got to know completing the app, which is the same as actually field underwriting. So completing the application, the underwriting process, standard, preferred, standard, substandard, knowing the different things that the underwriter looks at, credit report, MIB, was a APS, attending physician statement, things like that. And then taxes, you can skip taxes. It's a tricky concept. Lots of like, if this, then that, deductible, not deductible. It's like, you don't need to worry about it. You can get 30% wrong. Let taxes be the thing you get wrong, okay? Then into health insurance, you've got types of policies, HMO, PPO, disability, long-term care. Long-term care might actually be social, but focus on HMOs a lot. Policy provisions, you want to know all of those, entire contract, reinstatement, time limit on certain defenses, physical exams, grace period. They love the grace period. You can skip social, you can skip other really, and then field underwriting is actually going to be completing the app. So field underwriting and completing the app are almost the same chapter, same concepts. So that's really cool because they'll double dip. You need to be kind of decent in state law. 14 questions, and you'll be able to get a few of these because again, the pertinent to life and pertinent to health will double dip on the provisions chapter. So it's kind of a lot of the same information. So yeah, that's the Texas exam. Any questions?
I'm super new and I don't know anything about anything. So how do I find the state law?
Do you have a course yet?
No, this is the first thing I've ever done today.
Oh, okay. You're brand new. Okay, so most of the people that work with me or that have joined, like, are in the group or wherever, they are like already been studying. So that's exciting. Okay, so you would need to buy a course like Excel. You don't have to get Excel, but that's I've been finding that people who take Excel pass the first time. So not to say that that's true every time. The national pass rate is like 50%. But Excel, people tend to have an easier time with Excel. So you would buy an Excel course and
I
you
have
would.
a code for Excel if she needs one.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna get myself one too.
Okay, great.
But anyway, yeah, you could so you guys can chit chat with that. So somebody has a discount code. If you were to go to buy it online by yourself, it's gonna, I think it's like $199. Someone might have a discount code for you to give you like percentage off or whatever. And you gotta go through the course. Now, at this time, myself, I don't have a state approved course. So you would need an Excel course or another course, whatever, a state approved course. What I offer is teaching the material in a way that you understand it. So whatever course you end up getting, they are very college level, high level, hard to understand information. And what I do is I make it very simple. I explain, just like we did in the game today, I explain it very simply. So right now people are buying a course through whomever. I would recommend Excel. Then you buy my recorded videos on top, which will explain the information to you so that you can easily understand it. It's not necessary to buy my stuff. It is necessary to buy a state approved course. For most states, you are required to take one. Some states don't require it, but you still need it anyway. You need material anyway. So you have to get a state approved course. Then you could choose to buy my material to make it make sense. And then you take and pass the state exam. And then I also offer working with me one-on-one. So if you're like, I want to know that I'm going to pass the first time, I want to know what it is I need to study, I want everything to make sense to me, you can sign up to work with me for one-on-one. But again, you don't need me. I just help. I make it easier. I make it convenient. I make it simplified. And of course, I have my YouTube channel, which is also free. All of those videos are free. I do sell recordings of past classes that I taught though. So that's how I make my money, is selling recordings or tickets to classes. So does that make sense? Any questions on that one?
Yes, and I think I'll be fine because I'm just learning. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I got like first and second. So I think I'll get it. I'm competitive.
Woo!
I'm with you though.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, fantastic. All right. Anybody else have a question or anything? All right.
Good
Well,
night,
this was.
guys. I got to get the little one in bed. So thank you so much for Melissa.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome.
And-
All right. Well, everybody have a good night. And if you're also doing property and casualty, have a game night tomorrow. But yeah, thanks y'all. Have an amazing night. This was fun.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
You're
Melissa.
welcome. You're welcome.